invite all of you to please rise for 30 seconds to observe a moment of silence in remembrance of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother. Thank you very much. Please be seated. As we celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Bangkok Rules, to open today's forum and set the overview for our discussions, we will begin with a short video presentation highlighting the origins, evolution, and global impact of the Bangkok Rules.
Since the year 2000, the number of women and girls in prison has been rising sharply. Most are imprisoned for minor crimes linked to poverty, many in pre-trial detention. Few are convicted of violent crimes. In fact, most have been victims of violence themselves. But imprisonment is often ineffective and damaging for women and girls. Prisons are designed for men, from their security procedures to healthcare, family contact, and rehabilitation opportunities. In 2010, the United Nations General Assembly unanimously adopted the United Nations rules for the treatment of women prisoners and non-custodial measures for women offenders known as the Bangkok Rules. The rules aim to prioritize alternatives to imprisonment for women in all suitable cases. If women must be sent to prison, the rules give guidance on meeting their specific needs. Prisons must treat women humanely and with dignity. They must provide appropriate health care and protect them from the increased risk of abuse and sexual violence that they experience in prison. The rules also state the support that should be given to children living in prison with their mothers and aim to improve contact between prisoners and their children in the community. The Bangkok Rules are a vital step forward for the rights of women. Now, they need to be put into practice. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime is custodian of the rules and works worldwide to make them a reality. Women matter. Prisoners matter.
First of all, to officially commence the forum, may I please invite Dr. Piset Saat Yen, the Executive Director of the Thailand Institute of Justice, to deliver the welcome remarks. Dr. Piset, you have the floor.
Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, Professor Dr. Kittipong Kithayarak, the Chairman of the THA Board of Directors, Ms. Claudia Baroni, Team Leader, Gender in Criminal Justice, UNODC, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Thailand Institute of Justice, it is my honor to welcome you to this international forum, From Vision to Action, 15 years of the Bangkok Rules and the Future of Gender Responsive Justice, jointly organized by the TIJ and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The Bangkok Rules, or the United Nations Rules for the Treatment of Women Prisoners and Non-Custodial Measures for Women Offenders, are the first international guidelines adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2010 to address the specific needs and vulnerabilities of women in contact with the justice system. Today, as we celebrate its 15th anniversary, we have gathered here for three important reasons. First, to commemorate the milestone and honor the achievement of the international community that brought the first UN guidelines on women prisoners and women offenders to life and continue to uphold them in practice. Second, to create a space for cross-sectoral dialogue recognizing that the challenges faced by women in prison often intersect with a number of important issues, human rights, gender equality, social protection, and peace and security. Only through multidisciplinary collaboration can we build holistic and sustainable solutions. And third, to look forward to the next decade of collective action, to introduce a new initiative that can turn the promise of the Bangkok Rules into sustained progress. In this regard, I wish to acknowledge the strong leadership of the UNODC. As custodian of the Bangkok Rules, UNODC has been instrumental in advancing gender-responsive justice worldwide. In particular, we appreciate UNODC's leadership in developing the Bangkok Rules Accelerators, a new initiative that will support member states and meaningfully engage women with lived experiences. It creates an important new space for partnership and commitments to grow. I would also like to express our sincere appreciation to Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul and to the Royal Thai government for their continued support and steadfast commitment on this agenda. The leadership dates back to the very origins of what became the Bangkok Rules, and it has continued to be reaffirmed through Thailand's efforts to advance gender-responsive criminal justice policies, both domestically and globally. Finally, as we mark this 15-year milestone, I sincerely hope the momentum to protect and empower women continues to grow in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pisek Saadyan, for your warm welcome and for setting the stage for this important dialogue today. It is now a profound honor to invite His Excellency Mr. Anutin Charnvirakul, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand and Minister of Interior, to deliver the opening remarks for this international forum. Your Excellency, the floor is respectfully yours.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I wish we don't have to do this on Friday afternoon, but anyhow, on behalf of the Royal Thai government, it is a great pleasure of mine to be here with you all as we mark a significant milestone, which is the 15th anniversary of the United Nations rules for the treatment of women prisoners and non-custodial measures for women offenders, known globally as the Bangkok Rules. 15 years ago, under the visionary leadership of Her Royal Highness Princess Pachara Kitiyapha Narendra Thepayawati, Thailand put forward the idea that the world needed a dedicated framework to address the vulnerabilities of women in contact with the criminal justice system. With strong international support, this vision became reality when the UN General Assembly adopted the Bangkok Rules in the year 2010. It was a transformative moment that placed gender-responsive justice firmly on the global agenda and created the first international standard for protection for women in custody. Over the past decade and a half, Bangkok Rules have guided national legislation and institutional practices around the world. They also reflect Thailand's broader national priority to strengthen the rule of law and ensure that our criminal justice system is fair, proportionate, and effective. These principles are essential not only for justice, but also for national resilience, peace, and inclusive development. However, despite the progress, significant challenges remain. Women continue to be the fastest growing segment of the global prison population. Many are incarcerated for non-violent or poverty-related offenses, which signals not only individual hardship but the system failure in social support. The negative consequences of female imprisonment are profound. When a woman enters prisons, families are disrupted, children are placed at risk, and communities lose essential economic and caregiving contributions. This is a human capital loss that extends across generations. If we are to achieve true human development, we must address the root causes that lead women into conflict with the law. When we invest in prevention, create real alternatives to imprisonment, and support women to rebuild their lives, we strengthen the very foundations of our societies. This is why Thailand, in partnership with UNODC, is proud to launch the Bangkok Rules Accelerator, a global initiative designed to transform the vision of Bangkok Rules into coordinated, measurable action over the next 5 years. While Thailand is firmly committed to providing financial support for this important endeavor, we recognize that meaningful and lasting change cannot be achieved by one partner alone. The true strength of the Bangkok Rules has always been that spirit of international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this new chapter, we warmly invite the diplomatic community, development partners, and like-minded nations to join us, not only in principle, but through your expertise, partnership, and investment to ensure that the Bangkok Rules continue to move from paper to practice and bring real changes to lives of women in prison and in society worldwide. We are on the 15 years of the Bangkok Rules. One truth becomes distinctly clear: the way a society treats women in its justice system reflects the strength of its rule of law, the depth of its compassion, and the maturity of its development. Rising female imprisonment reminds us that disproportionate punishment, limited life choices, and gaps in social protection must be addressed. This milestone gives us an opportunity to strengthen our efforts and turn the principles of the Bangkok Rules into sustained action. We extend our sincere appreciation to UNODC for its continued leadership and partnership in advancing this important agenda. Thailand stands ready and fully committed to taking this vision forward together with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the inspiring and promising remarks. We are now proceeding to the first keynote address. It is my great pleasure to now invite Professor Dr. Kittipong Kittiyarak, Chairman of the TIJ Board of Directors, to deliver the first keynote address entitled From Vision to Action, 15 Years of the Bangkok Rules.
พี่พีทีวีพี่พีทีวีจับกันนะตัดแว่นนะโอเคของพี่พีอะไรอีกเดี๋ยวที่นะขาอยู่ไหนขาเขียวเอาอะไรอยู่ทำงานโอเค thank you เ